Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound Nation Wave, and this is day 28 of the March daily draws. So, as we close out the week and approach the weekend, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Ostara Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Scenes of the Witch Ostara Oracle. So, let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. Now, today we will go. The Empress. I believe we've had her come out already this month. This is reminding us about keeping in with that creativity, that creative energy that we've been thinking about this month. To me, this seems to have been the theme of the month. We're getting close to the end of the month now. There will be a review of the draws and the March month ahead spread, and but I feel that one of the main themes of this month has been awakening and connecting with and using our creative energy. And we're not quite at the end of the month yet, but it's interesting that near the end of the month, the Empress comes back to remind us of that. It's almost like, because we talked about creativity, but we've also talked about planning, other practical matters and things. Yesterday we had the King of Swords, so that was more of an intellectual thing, which we use our intellect in creativity. In being creative, we can use our intellect, use our mind. Is used in being creative, but it's we don't count it so much as that creating the abundance that we want, the things that we want. We're planning, that was more like planning out how to, the steps we need to take, the practical actions we need to take. But this is reminding us once again that with that, we then instill all of that process with that creative energy, so that it all works together. And it's interesting that we've had that composting oracle card out a few times now, and that means that everything works together, makes a mixture to make the soil as fertile, that we use that to make it fertile, to help the growth, to provide the nutrients for growth, all the different elements, even things that have long gone that are no longer in use, like sometimes compost, when we put things on the compost heap, it tends to be scraps of stuff that we've, remnants of things that we've done with. And even that, the things of the past, that's what we were relating to. We had that yesterday. All of these elements come together to help to create the soil with which the growth can take place. So so that's like forming the conditions, planning the actions, bringing everything in. It's like creating the environment that's going to be the best that we can manage to accomplish, to enable the creativity to bring the best growth. So once we've got all the environment in which we want the growth to take place, and making it the best that we can, then we just need to instill it with that creative energy and let the growth naturally spring forth. So this is reminding us to connect once again with our creative side. So maybe some more continue. I've said it in the past of things we can do just to be creative, for enjoying being creative. It doesn't have to be an end result. Just to connect once again, to keep that connection going, of using and getting that energy to flow. Sort of making something, creating something, writing a poem or a story, or taking pictures, or painting a picture, or going into nature, or creating, anything that involves creative energy, but not doing it thinking, we've got to create a masterpiece, or but just doing it for the fun of creating. That gets that energy flowing. We've done this. I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again now, that just keeping that connection, because it's not just a one. We don't just do these things like have creative hobbies to just do as a one-off. They're there to maintain our connection. So doing it more than once, doing it as a habit, as a hobby, or something like that, would keeps that connection there. And if the connection's there, then we can help the energy to flow when we really need it to do something that we want. We do have a vested interest in what the result's going to be, but we can maintain the connection through just fun things that we do. So let's keep connecting with our creative side. Let's keep being creative. Let's keep that energy flowing, and let's create the environment that's conducive to the growth which will come through the use of that creative energy. So that's the Empress. Now let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Aries the Ram, which we are, I think we're in now. I think we're in the sign of Aries. I think I think that was a couple of days ago. I think it was sort of like that 21st. It's towards that, it's around that time in March. I forget exactly, but I know we're in Aries next week because I have a friend who's got a birthday next week, and he's in Aries. So, so we've got that Aries energy, which is a bit more dynamic, a bit more, trailblazing. It's a bit more, you're being called to step into the flame with an ignited vision of your desires. Time is of the essence. So this is saying now is the time to use that energy, to get that creative energy. You're being called to step into the flame with an ignited vision of your desires. So that vision that we've had, let's ignite it with that creative energy, with our very passion and spirit behind it, to be creative, to do, because now's the time to do it. Now is a great, it seems to what it's saying is time is of the essence. Now is the time to get creative. Now's, if you, what we've been preparing for, this is now coming into effect. This time period is now coming where we need to really get down to business and get creating what we want to create in our lives. Time is of the essence. Let's ignite those passions and desires of ours with that creative energy and accomplish what we want to accomplish, because now is the time to get that creative energy and get the growth that we need. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 29. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.